and Texas Tech really can't stop the pass either. So I think the only chance is that Patrick Mahomes of Texas Tech has got to put up some numbers to try to make this a shootout, but Oklahoma simply is the better team with the better chance of making stops on defense. I don't think this is going to be close at all. DC3PO sees it as an 8-point victory for Oklahoma, 41-33, with a 69.2% win probability.
All right, you never know what's going to happen there in the Big 12, but I'm taking OU in this game as well. Next game, we got Ohio State, Penn State, Big Ten matchup. This would be a huge win for Penn State. I don't know if it's possible. Does Penn State really have a chance in this game?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, 8 o'clock Eastern, ABC. Ohio State has an astonishing 20-game road win streak going on. And one of the closest calls during that streak was the last time Ohio State went to Happy Valley. 2 years ago in front of another primetime wide-out crowd that they'll see again tonight. Penn State took the Buckeyes to double OT, but J.T. Barrett's running and the sack by Joey Bosa allowed Ohio State to escape with a win. And that kind of became the springboard to their national championship.
Mm-hmm.
So this time you got Ohio State. They're going in there, undefeated, national title hopes again. It's not an easy schedule for them. They've seemed to keep going into hostile night environments away from home. Now twice in a row. They've won at Oklahoma. They've won at Wisconsin. That game looked like it was exhausting. And Penn State played well, since a blowout loss to Michigan and is coming off a bye week. So I think the way it breaks down, Penn State dominated Maryland with their read option plays with their quarterback McSorley and that running back Barkley, because he had a 202 career-high rushing yards. And remember, they ran for 194 against the Buckeyes last year, so ultimately Ohio State is deeper, much more proven, simply has better personnel. Even if Penn State does have, really good skill position players, and it's at home, it's prime time, Penn State has a chance to make this a game, but it's just impossible to pick against J.T. Barrett and Urban Meyer
right now, yeah.
And Ohio State, I think they win pretty handily. May not be like a blowout, but I agree with DC3PO. Win probability 87.4%. Ohio State 36, Penn State 17.
All right, so you're saying there's a chance.
Small chance.
Small chance. All right. Here's a team that definitely at the beginning of the season there was small chance anybody thought CU would be in the position they're in right now with a chance at the Pac-12 South. They're playing Stanford today. What are their chances of getting that Pac-12 South?
Well, as you just said, there is a chance for CU to actually kind of win that Pac-12 South. And it kind of starts today. I mean, both teams, it's an intriguing, important game. And, both teams have 2 losses, but you look at them both in completely different lights. Colorado's one of the season's best surprises at 5-2, beating Oregon, playing terrific defense and getting quality play, from 2 quarterbacks en route to what likely will be their first bowl appearance since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And yet Stanford is a disappointment at 4-2, losing back-to-back conference games to this Washington State, embarrassingly, and then pulling out a win against Notre Dame. So, maybe Christian McCaffrey comes back. The Stanford defense is healthier, but Colorado has unexpectedly been the more complete team this year, and gives them a chance for another huge road win in their quest for that Pac-12 South title.
Mm-hmm.
DC3PO has CU winning 27-19 with a 70.3% win probability.
Wow, okay. Even in Palo Alto. Nice. Go Buffaloes. There you go, Buffaloes fans. Watch that one today if you can. We'll see if the Buffaloes defense can stifle Stanford like it seems everybody else has been able to.
Right.
One more before we get out of here. Let's do the upset game. TCU versus West Virginia. This would be, in my opinion, a huge upset if TCU knocks off West Virginia. What are the chances here?
We've got a 5-0 start featuring an impressive defensive performance against Texas Tech, West Virginia's finally getting some attention as a Big 12 contender. Now this is their toughest challenge so far. TCU hasn't played well on defense. It's possible that Cavante Turpin may return from an injury to rejoin that TCU offense. That's getting about 357 passing yards per game from the A&M transfer Kenny Hill. It's another intriguing matchup for West Virginia, which seems to have a knack for slowing down air raid style offenses, similar to the one it runs, as it showed last week to holding the Red Raiders to 17 points. History would seem to give the Mountaineers the edge at home against the Horned Frogs, because they seem to struggle to put together, a complete game. Don't be surprised if TCU mixes up the Big 12 race, but I don't see it. I see West Virginia and winning this game, as does DC3PO. West Virginia really is a good football team, and in terms of causing chaos in the playoffs, they have the chance to be that chaos. DC3PO has West Virginia 33, TCU 16 with an 86% win probability.
All right, there you go, everybody. That was the DC3PO College Football Kickoff. Chris, thank you very much for calling in and laying this knowledge on us again this week. That was awesome, buddy.
You got it.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
Yep, enjoy that football.
All right.
Later.
Later, man. All right, that was Chris Rupert from the DirtCannon.com on the DC3PO College Football Kickoff. Remember, that is something that we do every Saturday. So if you need to get your college football kick right before the games start, you need to get your blood flowing, you need to get some knowledge, tune in, check it out. It's a great segment. Chris lays some great analysis down, and DC3PO breaks it down very well also. So check it out. On the other side of the break, we'll hit some headlines, we'll talk some NFL, and we'll just get into it.
Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. The DirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. The DirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with the DirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever, and try the Silver membership this week for free. Visit thedirtcannon.com.
Definitely check them out. Like we've talked about on the show, they are a local Denver, Colorado company. They are doing big things in the world of sports analytics and fantasy sports knowledge. So check them out. Check out their articles. It's just good stuff. If you're into sports, if you love sports, if you love getting it from wherever you can, check out the DirtCannon.com. All right, Cord, this is the season of injuries in the NFL. Multiple injuries at multiple positions, hampering just about every team in the league. Another one happened this week, Thursday night. Brian Hoyer, who's been playing, when Brian Hoyer plays well, he plays well, and he's been on a playing well streak for the Bears, as Cutler's been out with his thumb. And Brian Hoyer goes down in the game with a broken arm. There you go, another injury, another depth question. Bears were left bringing Matt Barkley into the game. Are they going to roll with him this week? Are they signing a free agent? Are they bringing up somebody from their practice squad? They're left scrambling right now for a team that really wasn't playing all that well on this season. You hate to see stuff like that, but at the same time, as a Lions fan, now I'm looking at the next Chicago game as a possible win. That's real talk. I'm going, okay, he's hurt. Didn't want to see him get hurt while he was playing well and his team was starting to get a little bit of momentum and feel better. They weren't necessarily winning a bunch of games, but you saw them as a team starting to turn a corner a little bit, play with a little more hustle, play with a little more excitement. And that fell out of that game for them after Hoyer went down. So, it is what it is. Everybody is facing it. Like I said, it's hampering the entire league this year. It's been amazing how many injuries there have been in the age of player safety and the renegotiated labor agreement and the less contact in the off season and all the stuff they're trying to do to improve player safety. But you're still getting what I see as more injuries this season that are hampering teams than ever before. You got teams that are at third, fourth, fifth stringers that are starting at certain positions, and sometimes it's either an entire backfield or an entire linebacking core or their entire secondary. Or it's been really amazing the amount of injuries this season that are either keeping guys out for the whole season or part of the season, or they're on the IR and hopefully the team can bring them back later in the year. All across the league. Minnesota, we all know all the injuries they've had. We're seeing it happen in Chicago. We see it happen in Detroit. Maybe it's just the NFC North. Let me see if I can come up with another club who's suffering injuries. Pittsburgh's had their injuries this year. They've also had their number of suspensions this year. So yeah, Miami's having their fair share of injuries. Who else? Dallas has had their fair share of injuries. So, I mean, it's just all over the league. San Francisco. So it's something else. Another thing that's been something else that we've been talking about on this show has been the playoffs for baseball. Great playoffs. Everybody got real down on the Cubs when they went down 2-1. Their bats came alive over the last 2 games, just like I said that needed to happen. If their bats came alive, they'd be fine. Now they're sitting in a position up 3-2. They play tonight against the Dodgers in Chicago on Fox Sports 1 at 6 p.m. It's Kershaw versus Kendricks is the pitching matchup. Last time the Cubs were up 3-2 in the NLCS was the Bartman game. So expect to hear that talked about quite a bit today if you follow the baseball instead of college football. And again, yeah, Bartman might have kept that ball from being caught. When I watched it live, I didn't think Elu was going to catch the ball anyway. I saw a group of people go for it. He happened to be in the center. Get over it. Go out there and play. Like Schlereth said this week on The Fan, pressure is a privilege. Go out there and earn your money. It's time to put up or shut up. Okay? Cubs fans, Cubbies, I would love to see you do it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see the Cubs move on to the World Series. I would love for the Cubs diehard fans who have been waiting forever to get a World Series. And I would love to see that happen. That would be a great story. Just like I would love that to happen for the Lions and other old teams. I'd love to see Pittsburgh Pirates win one in baseball. I'd love to see the Athletics come back and get another one. It was cool seeing Kansas City play in the World Series. It was cool to see Boston get over their hurdles and win theirs. So yeah, I would love to see the Cubs pull it out. But don't start going, oh, it's the Bartman game was the last time we did this. It's the curse. It's the Billy Goat. No. Pressure is a privilege. Thank you, Mark Schlereth, for that one. Go out there and get it, boys. Go out there and get it. I told you guys last time we talked on last Saturday. Everybody was down on Rodgers. They're up on Stafford right now. I'm up on Stafford right now. I've been up on Stafford. I told you guys about Stafford. I've been repping Stafford even before I had this show. But everybody was down on Stafford. I told you guys, relax. He's going to be fine. Rodgers. He's going to be fine. There's no worries there. It's not him. The team's got a whole lot of holes in it right now, and they do. And they're running a predictable system because they refuse to adapt. Now, Thursday night, they bring in all their running back receiver types that they can possibly muster. They play pretty well. They get Aaron Rodgers going a little bit with the quick passes. Keep him from scrambling for the most part. Chicago's defense made Green Bay's offensive line look pitiful. But Rodgers throws the ball 50-something times. Green Bay pulls out the win. He gets, a couple plays here and there from his receivers. They still drop some balls. They still had some miscommunications. But he came out of that game, I guess, feeling good. because after the game, Rodgers went all Lebowski on everybody. Came out with the big Lebowski sweater,